Who doesn't love taking a personality test? Whether it's Myers-Briggs, the Enneagram, StrengthsFinder, or even one of those online quizzes, like which Harry Potter house are you in? They're so much fun and they can make us feel seen and validated, understand why we do certain things. But can those quizzes actually help make us better speakers? Let's discuss. Hi, my name is Jessica Rasdall and I help small business owners use their voice and the power of speaking to reach more audiences, make a bigger impact in the world, and scale that business they've worked so hard to build. Now, I am obsessed with learning about personality types and what makes us tick. I think it kind of comes with the territory, right? Of wanting to better understand my audience, wanting to write the best presentations for our audience, and just getting to understand people better. But learning about ourselves and what makes us unique, what motivates us, what drives us, what are these personality quirks that we have, helps us really understand how we can show up for speaking, whether it's on stages, podcasts, webinars, or more, and do it in a way that feels very true to us. So today I want to talk a bit about different personality types, how speaking can kind of fit into your personality type, myths around it for sure, and so much more. So if you're into personality types, you've been thinking about speaking, but worry maybe your particular type is holding you back, we're going to chat about this today. First and foremost, I am a huge introvert, right? And I know that might sound silly. You're a public speaking coach. You've been speaking for 16 years. You're filming this video. How are you an introvert? Well, being an introvert does not mean that you are shy or you can't show up. It's just where you draw your energy from. In fact, we have an old Speak to Scale podcast episode. It's episode number 53 with Cinnamon Wolf that I love so much because it's her and I having a very candid conversation as two introverted speakers. Something that came up on that interview was Cinnamon talking about introverts thrive when their role is clearly defined. And I wondered for a long time why I felt like I struggled on panels for speaking. That I did really well when I was the keynote speaker, when I was leading a session, when I was doing a workshop. And that was something I didn't understand about being an introvert. That when our role isn't clearly defined, when we don't know our job and how we're supposed to show up, we can get very uncomfortable. So I've learned to now, whether it's a panel, a large main stage presentation, a podcast interview, anything, to get really clear on what is my job here today. Do you like speaking on panels, or does that sometimes make you a little uncomfortable too? Tell me in the comments. Being an introvert doesn't mean you can't be a great speaker. In fact, some of the best speakers around are introverts. But if you have been telling yourself, I can't because this, and this has something to do with your personality type, we gotta have a little talk, friend. When you start to dive into your personality type, you're going to tend to see things that are like the positives of this personality type and the negatives of this personality type. And so often, especially as business owners who are wanting to show up as the face of their company and be more vulnerable with visibility, we can look at those negative traits, or what somebody else has called negative traits, and get very uncomfortable. I, for example, am an Enneagram 7 wing 8, and Enneagram 7, they can be very strategic, quick on their feet, but a lot of people can also think that they're maybe flighty, and that quick on their feet makes them unreliable. But when I hear that stuff, I know for me, that's right. I am very strategic. I am quick on my feet. I thrive on the stage with reading the room and making adjustments to my presentation on the fly to best serve that audience. And that's something that I don't think everyone can do. So I'm going to own that and say that yes, what somebody might say is a negative quality, I'm going to learn to harness that as something incredibly powerful that makes me stand out. So if there are any attributes to your personality type that you've been saying, oh, that just wouldn't make me a great speaker because of XYZ, I'm going to challenge you to turn that around and find a way to leverage that. If you are into Myers-Briggs personality types, which I love, you'll definitely want to check out an older episode of the Speak to Scale podcast, episode number 63 with Britt Colo from Marketing Personalities. She breaks down each Myers-Briggs personality type and shows us really where we can thrive with speaking based on that. It is a do not miss, one of my favorite episodes, especially if you're nerdy like me and want to learn about not just what makes you tick, but what makes the people in your audience tick, the organizers tick, the other speakers on the lineup. I just am fascinated by that. it. It doesn't matter what personality testing you follow, whether it's the Enneagram or Myers-Briggs, or if you're doing StrengthsFinder, whatever it may be. What I want to make sure you're doing as a speaker is showing up as your authentic self. There is no perfect speaker type that you need to aspire to be or try to fit yourself into some box. Your goal as a speaker should be to create a clear, consistent experience across the board. That means when somebody meets you for the very first time from the audience, when you're speaking on a stage, that should be true to you. Is the same experience that somebody can expect when they interact with us in person. And the more time you spend getting to know yourself and what makes you tick, the more confident you can be showing up as your true self. Regardless of your personality type, there is space for you to show up on a stage and truly serve your audience. Leave them better than you found them. Your personality, who you truly are, letting that shine is what's going to create a deeper connection with your audience and create more conversions for your business. And if you're not ready for a main stage just yet, but you want to start dipping your toe into speaking, you're going to want to check out this video on how to use social media for speaking. It's a great place to get started, and it's going to help you start paving that path to a main stage should you want to be there. Go check it out.